Okay, let me turn you
Okay,
on.
so today is October 6th, and this is our Grand Fiesta incentive meeting. I want to welcome everybody out today. So let's just get into it. I'll share my screen. So you should be able to see now the PowerPoint, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so we're all here because we want to go on this Grand Fiesta incentive, right? Anybody
Yes.
don't want to go?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, there's my drinks right there. They just brought my drinks.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, well, you know, Richard and I have beds right here in the water. There's a couple of extras around us. So you guys can fit in here. So Avon has two hot new incentives going on right now. The Grand Fiesta incentive, which right now we're in the Vamos Head Start period, campaigns 23 through 26. And then the actual incentive runs campaign 1 through 8. And then there's also the Build the Love incentive, which is going on right now, campaign 23 to 26. So we'll go into those a little bit. The first one we're going to talk about is the Build the Love. This is exciting, actually, because this is for anybody who's new, who started after July 11th. That means it may not be everybody on the call here, but it could be your team members. Mm-hmm. Hey, Pat.
Hey, Pat.
And so this one's really cool because if you sell $3,000 between campaigns 23 and 26, you'll get this iPad. And another thing that's really cool about it is if you recruit and you bring in team members, Avon's going to let those team member sales count towards your $3,000 so that you can get that iPad. And not only does it count towards that, but it's also going to count towards the Fiesta incentive. So this is really cool. So, for instance, so if you sell $500 each campaign and you recruit one person each campaign who continues to sell $150, like in campaign 23, if you sold $500 and you have a new recruit that sells $150, and then in 24, you keep doing $500 every campaign and you bring in a new person. So now you have $300 and then $450 and $600. That'll get you to the $3,000, and that's what 1, 2, 3, 4 new people, right?
Yeah.
So 4 new people would also get you, oh my gosh, promoted to bronze ambassador and a $500 bonus for that, and I mean there's just everything, right? So just by following this example, you can earn between $80 and $200 in qualified new recruit bonuses. That means you will get $20 for each person that you bring in that becomes a qualified new recruit. But if you're in the Kickstart period, that gets bumped up to $50. So that's why it's $80 to $200 in qualified new recruit bonuses. You'd get 8 entries in the Rake in the Cash promotion where you could earn your share of $150,000.
Wow.
Who doesn't want a part of that?
Wow.
Yeah, and that would give you 1,200 Head Start points in the Avon Grand Fiesta incentive. Look how cool. We get to double dip. And you promote to bronze ambassador in campaign 26 and earn the $500 promotion bonus and another 500 Grand Fiesta incentive. What's the matter? My mouse is really touchy today. And another $500 Grand Fiesta incentive points. So then the Grand Fiesta incentive is an all-inclusive trip to Los Cabos, Mexico, June 2nd through the 5th. And it runs from now through campaign 8. Like I said, we're in the Vamos Head Start period right now, but we're in it. So right now, we're in the early bird. This part up here is the only thing we can qualify for right now. So bottom line is, what's going to help us right now is bringing in personal recruits. For anybody who is not an Alma lead, meaning Avon give you a recruit, you met them, you found them yourself, you would get 300 points for everyone that places a first or second order of $150 and becomes qualified. You would promote to bronze ambassador. For the first time, you get 500 points. And if you help someone on your team promote, they would get the 500 and you would get another 250 points. So get started with a bang. Front load this promotion as much as you can. If you just have one qualified new recruit every campaign during that Vamos Head Start period, you'd earn 1,200 points and you'd already be a quarter of the way to earning a trip for one. So, and then they're giving you other exclusive rewards along the way. 1,000 points gets you a towel. 2,000 gets you the towel and the tote. 3,000 gets you the towel, tote, mirror, and brush set. 5,000 gets you a trip for one, and 7,000 gets you a trip for two, as well as all those other prizes. So in our Facebook group, this is our Facebook group here. In the files section, there's a Grand Fiesta incentive tracking sheet. You can use this to track your where you're at. This is an Excel spreadsheet, and this is what it looks like. So right now, where you can't earn the points is all grayed out. So right now, campaigns 23 through 26, the only thing you really can earn is the personal recruits and the promotions to bronze ambassador, or mentor somebody to promote to bronze ambassador. So that's where your focus should be right now. Then once you we get into campaign 1, now you get credit for your sales, and you can get credit for Alma recruits as well as personal recruits. And get this, every time that your new person places a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth order of $150 or more, you get another 100 points and another 100 points and another 100 points. So this is really cool. And then if you promote after campaign 1, any promotion is going to give you 1,000 points, or you mentor somebody else to promote, that's 500 points. So you can even just play with this. It's a spreadsheet. You can plug in numbers and play with it. And I'm going to show you a couple down the road here. On the second part of the spreadsheet is just where you can keep track of your new reps and whether they were qualified, meaning they did that $150 on-time order, first or second campaign, and paid for it, of course, on time, and then what their orders are. It's really important to watch this, because even if you can't get their, during this first part, you can't get credit for their second, third, or fourth orders or whatever. But let's say you bring somebody in campaign 24, you want to get them off to a good start so that by the time we get to 1, they're still placing orders, because then you can start earning those 100 points for even the people you brought in during the early part. So it might be their, at this point, it might be their 5th or 6th order. So let's see, if they started in 24, that would be 1, 2, 3. This would be their 4th order. So, and then their 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, you could still get credit for. So for now, we're going to focus on that Bombos Head Start, since that's the only way we can earn points right now. So let's look at this comp plan. I think most of you know this by now, but as it starts out, first time you get a recruit, you get a new team member, you become a promoter. And all you have to do is have your personal sales have to be $50. One person placing an order on your team, you're going to earn the $20 recruiting bonus if they are qualified, meaning they place that $150 order to become qualified. And you're going to earn a 3% sponsoring bonus for them. I mean, everything they sell, you're going to earn 3% for as long as they stay in Avon, okay? Then you bring in a second person. Now you have 2 people placing an order. You still only have to do $50. Now you promote to star promoter. You're going to still get your qualified new recruit bonuses, $20 or $50, depending on whether you're Kickstart or not. 3% sponsoring bonus for everything they do for as long as they're in Avon. And another 3%, this is your leadership comp bonus for your first generation. So that's effectively, you're getting now 6% on everybody on your first gen, everybody you brought in. Now, here's where it gets fun. Now you become bronze ambassador. So you have 3 people on your team. You need $200. From this point on, the rest of the comp plan, forever and ever, you have to do at least $200 a campaign. 3 people on your team. Total team sales is $1,000. So if you're doing 200, then that other 800 needs to be spread between the 3 people. So it might take you 4 to get to bronze ambassador. If you're doing more than 200, if you're doing 500, then you only need to split 500 between those 3. Do you see what I'm saying? So you need $1,000 between all of you to qualify for this bronze ambassador. You're still going to earn the $20 or $50 for every new person you bring in. You're still going to get that 3% sponsoring bonus. Now you're going to get $500 for promoting. And if you help someone else promote, you're going to get $250, and you're going to get 500 points on that Grand Fiesta incentive. We keep wanting to call it a cruise. Rick, it's your fault. So you're going to get 3% of your first generation. That means that's 6% altogether of your first generation. And now you're going to start getting paid on your second generation. And it just goes up from there. 6 people get, you have 6 people ordering you, and $2,000 you promote to silver. That's a promotion. So if you do that in campaign 1, that's 1,000 points. So new people, it's a lot easier for a new person to get a lot of points in this promotion than it is for somebody who's a leader that has to grow from 12,500 to 20,000. You see what I'm saying? So if you're new, it's a no-brainer. You can do this. It's going to take work. I'm not going to say it's not. It's going to take work, but you can do it. And we're here to help you, and you can help your new people do this. So if you want to sign somebody up, you take them to your website, youravon.com/your-ID, and they just click on Become a Representative up here. This is the shortcut to it if you ever want to give them a direct link to you. Replace Lynn Huber with your name. I mean, unless you want to give me the recruit, I'll take it. Replace that with your name, your ID. avonrepresentative.com/opportunity/start. That's like a shortcut. If you posted that, it takes you directly to your site and puts your name in as the mentor, okay? So this Kickstart program is really important, and I'll tell you why. This is how you're going to be on top of your people. This is how you're going to help them be successful. And this is so huge for them because they can earn a lot of money, and especially right now during the holidays. So what this is during the first 7 campaigns, first order, there's no minimum. And then for every $50 increase, they have to do $150 in their second campaign. So first order is no minimum. Of course, you want to try to get $150 in their first campaign because you want them to be a qualified new recruit. But even if they do it by their second, it still will count for you as a qualified new recruit. So then it goes up by $50 every campaign. And as long as they do this, they were guaranteed 40% commission in their first 7 campaigns. This is so huge because the rest of us who are not new, we don't get 40% on fixed earnings items, on the holiday items and clothing and that kind of stuff, but a new person does. So they can get 40% off their entire Christmas shopping. And then they get $50 for every qualified recruit they bring into Avon. And so if they work this, they can earn $1,000. Or if you're Rick and Tina, you can earn over $3,000 during your Kickstart program. And you know what? I've seen, in the Northwest region, I've seen them post about other people who've earned $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in their Kickstart program. So this is like huge. And what you want to do is you want to help your new person to earn this, because if they make more money, they're going to want to stick around. So help them understand this. Let me move this. I got your images in front of this so I can't see it. Help your new team members understand the value of a $150 order and the value of increasing their order. But for instance, on a $150 order, if their order is only $100, they're only going to earn 20%. They're not going to earn that 40%. Their cost is going to be $80, so they're going to make $20. If their $125 order at their cost is 20% earnings, their cost is $100. But if they bump that to $150, they could order free product for themselves because now their commission is 40% and their cost is $90. So even if they ordered free product for themselves, it would cost them $10 less for $25 more product. So, and like I said, $40 includes all fixed earnings. So this is huge. And you want people to understand this. This also applies to hot points, but I'm not going to go into that today, but it's true all the way along. As you're growing your business, there are hot points where your commission changes, from 20 to 30 to 40 to 50%. And if you're close to that break off, sometimes it's worth it to pay more, to buy more to get the higher percentage because you get more product for less money. So that's just really huge. And so even in the beginning, even if you're in that first part of the Vamos Head Start, you still want to help them because you want to help them be successful. But by the time they get to their 4th or 5th or 6th campaigns, you want them placing regular orders so they can still count for this trip. So there's a report in Vibe that will help you do this. So if you're in Vibe and you go to Program Static Reports and then Kickstart Program, it's available as an Excel spreadsheet or a PDF. And then this is what the thing looks like. This is actually last year's, but it's the same thing. So it shows you all of your new recruits, and it shows you this person got 40% their first campaign, and they need to place $150 plus second order by the next campaign. This one shows they placed orders. This one is saying, look at this one. They qualified for the first one. Each campaign stands alone. So if they don't make it one campaign, it's no reason to give up. So they did not qualify in the second campaign, but they're saying place a $200 third order and it gives you a date, and they'll qualify for the third one. So this will help you stay on track, help you keep your people on track, and help them be successful. And you're going to find some of your reps are gonna be all in, and they're gonna want this, and they're gonna be working for this Kickstart program. And some of your reps are not gonna care. I mean, this is reality, okay? Some of them aren't gonna care. They're gonna be like, why are you bugging me? I'm not gonna try to increase my sales. I'm just in here for a personal shopper, or whatever it is. So you have to, base it on your person, on your team member. What are their goals? What do they want out of this? You're not, it's not our job to be their boss. We're not there telling them they have to do it. We're just helping them make more money. Hope that makes sense. So if we go back to this, like I said, their first ones won't count. Their second, third, fourth orders won't count until we get into campaign 1, and then they will. And so what does this incentive mean for you income-wise? Some of you are like, well, yeah, I don't know if I can win a trip to Los Cabos. I don't even know if it's possible. I mean, I know there's people that think that. But you know what? You should go for it regardless, because you're going to make a lot of money on this, whether you go or not. And you know what? Even if you make it and you can't go, Avon will pay you out.
It's $500.
It's $500 for a trip for one, and I think it's $1,000 for a trip for two. If for some reason you can't actually go to Los Cabos, they will pay you out. So that's more money. But let's just say, just go for this full force, because look at what you have to win here. Look what you have to gain. So for each qualified new recruit, you're going to get $20, $50 if you're still in the Kickstart program. Then you promote to Bronze Ambassador, which means you have to have $200, 3 orders, and $1,000 in sales. You're going to get another $500. Promote to Silver Ambassador. You still have to have $200 order, 6 orders, $2,000 in sales. You're going to get $750. For each person on your team who promotes to Bronze Ambassador, they will earn all this, but you will get $250. For each person on your team who promotes to Silver Ambassador, you're going to make $375. Now, if you promote to Gold Ambassador, which means you have 9 orders, $4,000 in total sales, you're going to earn $1,000. Promote to Bronze Leader, that means you have 10 people, 10 orders, $8,000 in sales, you're going to earn $1,500. So look at this. This isn't counting your sales. This isn't counting your 40% of all your orders or whatever you're at. If you're not new, then you're not going to be in the Kickstart program. So whatever your commission isn't even included in this. But so let's say you brought in 10 people and you helped 2 of them promote to Silver Ambassador. So you're going to earn $200 for the 10 new qualified recruits. That's $20 each. That's $200. If you're in the Kickstart program, that's what is it? $50, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's times 5 is $500. Plus, you're going to get the 3% commissions on everything they sell. You promote to Bronze Ambassador, that's $500. You promote to Silver Ambassador, that's $750, because you got 10 people. So more than likely, you're going to do that. You're going to earn $500 for the 2 people who promoted to Bronze Ambassador, $250 each. And then you're going to earn $750 for the 2 people that promoted to Silver Ambassador at $375. And you're going to promote to Gold Ambassador. So just from the bonuses alone, you've earned $3,700. And that's not even counting if you're in the Kickstart. That's not bad, right?
And probably you won the trip with that.
Yeah, you pretty much probably have the trip. Yeah. So there's money in this. There's a lot of money in this. And that's not counting your sales. That's not counting your Kickstart bonuses if you're in Kickstart. That's not counting any of that. But you also, for all this stuff, you're going to earn points towards this trip. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to be ready. I want you to be out there talking to people. So put a label on the front of every brochure, recruiting label, earn extra money, your website. Get your Christmas paid for. It doesn't have to say this. You guys get creative. Say, earn $1,000 and get your Christmas at 40% off. Whatever you want to say, and your website. On the back, of course, your contact information. I always put my online use code WELCOME10 for 10% off their first online order, and my website. Have these drawing slips ready so that when you give out brochures, you get their name and number, their contact information. These drawing slips make it so easy, and they're in the file section of our group. But if you say to them something like, I always say, I mail my brochures. I use campaign mailer. So I always say, I mail my brochures. Would you like to get on my mailing list? And if they're into Avon, if they love Avon, they're going to want to get on your mailing list. And so then you just have them fill this out. But if you're not using campaign mailer or you're not mailing brochures, you can say, would you like to get on my distribution list? Or you could say, I'm having a drawing. If you want to do a drawing, that's up to you. But what's cool about these slips is that it asks these 3 questions. I already have a representative. Because if they do, you don't want to mail them brochures if they already have a representative, right? And they can get the brochures from their representative. I would like to receive Avon brochures on a regular basis, yes, hopefully. And I would like to learn more about earning money with Avon. This is the one you're looking for, but it's right here on the form, which makes it easy for the subject to come up. And while they're filling it out, you can just say, hey, have you ever thought about making extra money with Avon? Would getting 40% off your Christmas be a benefit to you? There's all kinds of things you can mention. You can just stick a Post-it note on the front of every brochure if you don't have these drawing slips. Just put a little Post-it note on the front of every brochure, and when you give it out, just say, would you drop your name and phone number on here so I can follow up before I place your order? Tina has a little form a little notebook, just a little tiny notebook that she bought at the store that has a clip that hangs from her purse. And so she just has it always ready. And when she gives out a book, she says, can I get your name and number so I can follow up before I place my order? Most of the people, if you are upbeat and positive about it, most people won't even question you. They'll just give it to you. And some people will. Some people will say, they'll hesitate. They won't want to give it to you. And then you just go with the easy ones, right? The ones that are hesitant or the ones that don't want to give it to you, just say, it's no problem. My number's on the back of the book. Move on. Okay, so let's go back to this incentive. So you could seriously win a trip for one if you do nothing more than have one qualified new recruit every campaign and maintain $500 in sales. So if you just, from campaign 23 to campaign 8, have one personal recruit every campaign, and you sell $500, the campaigns that it's allowed here, that'll put you at 5,200 points. That's a trip for one. That doesn't even count that all these people are going to, of course, place more than one order. In fact, if they did place more than one order, that would put you at a trip for 2 probably.
We're all going to place at least one order, right?
Yeah, at least one more, right? So this is just bare minimum. I mean, the truth of the matter is, if you did this, you could probably finish early because some of these people are going to be placing more orders. But that's just like getting started. So to earn a trip for 2, develop a couple of people, help them get their $150 second, third, fourth, fifth orders, and help them promote. So, okay, the first 4 campaigns, you get one personal recruit each campaign. We, again, just got one a campaign, but a couple of them placed additional orders. You see that? It's not even half. It's like, I only put in a couple of people. And you promote to Bronze Ambassador, you help 2 people promote. If you sign up that many people, there should be no problem with you promoting. You'll probably be Silver Ambassador or Gold Ambassador. So, and that's like 1,000 points for silver and 1,000 for gold. So, you just help a couple of people, help them promote. This puts you at 7,100 points. That's a trip for 2. So, Rick, when you get a trip for 2, are you muted? Can you unmute? If you get a trip for 2 on this trip, what does that mean? How much does that cost you?
0.
What does all inclusive mean?
I lied a little. It costs you $125 because you're gonna want pictures. All exclusive, everything. You know, food, drinks, everything. You kind of feel weird about it, you know, to begin with, but by the end of it, you're going, yeah, give me one of these and one of those. And
Rick and Tina went on the cruise with us, and it was their first cruise, and the first ever all-inclusive trip, and their eyes were so big the whole time. Oh, Lori, they were like, oh. It was so cool just to watch them.
I know we drove up to that ship, and I was in that van. I looked up there. I'm like, oh, God. I didn't realize it was as big as it was. I mean, I seen the pictures and everything, but actually being there.
That ship was huge. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so let's, some tips here. I have my pictures over the top of this, so I have to keep moving.
Slide it over because you can't.
So, pro tips: set huge goals, you guys. You want to blow it out of the water to begin with. Front load the promotion. Work to get 2 to 3 recruits every campaign from the start. Look, I just did 2 recruits each campaign. Just 2 recruits, and only some of them placing orders. And pretty much you're done by campaign 3, as long as you maintain your sales. And if more people are placing orders, you probably don't even need to maintain your sales. But you got to blow it out early. Get this thing going. Get right now. Get into action and be recruiting. And keep your eye on the prize. Track your progress every day. Know where you stand every day, because this is really critical. And don't ever, ever, ever give up. This trip is so doable. This one's a whole lot easier than the cruise. And I mean, I'm not going to say it's easy. It's not easy. You're going to work hard. You're going to work really hard to earn it, but it is so doable, and you can do this if you make a plan and a goal. And it isn't going to be, I'm going to try. It's going to be, I will be there. Right, Mark?
Yep.
I will be there. I am there. Yeah. Don't ever give up. Just keep going. So tips, know the requirements. Make sure you're real clear on what it is you need to do. Get your passport now. Don't wait for it. Part of that, getting your passport now, is the mindset, because you're going. There's no question about it. There's no reason to wait for your passport. I don't want you thinking, well, I'm going to wait and see if I win, because that's not the mindset that's going to make you earn this trip. The mindset that's going to make you earn this trip is, I am there. So get your passport now. All in. Passports
are good for 10 years. So you got 10 more years. You got 9 more years after this one of Avon trips to learn.
Yeah. Trust me. And once you earn one, you will be on them every year. Because once you've been on one, you won't want to miss another one.
Well, I used a passport once. You're going to use it again.
Yeah. You're going to use it every year, though. So mark the dates in your calendar. In pen. Cross them out. You're booked those dates. June, what? 2nd through the 5th. You are booked those dates. You're busy, so you can't do anything else during that time. If you have grown kids that are having babies, tell them they better plan it around that. They have plenty of notice. Don't get pregnant yet. I'm kidding.
Yeah, your friends have to get married later in June.
Front load the promotion. Get going now. Don't wait. Constant contact. Stay in touch with your new recruits. Stay in touch with your prospects, with your leads, your prospects, the people that you're talking to about joining the business. What do we have to do, Mark? What's those 3 F's?
Follow up. Follow up.
Follow up.
Yeah, because I am not kidding. That follow-up is what's going to get you on the cruise, to get you to Los Cabos. Mm-hmm. Follow up, follow up, follow up. Monitor your numbers every day. Set your goal high. Go after 2 times or even 3 times what you actually need. You know, Emily Seagren last year earned the trip in full, like the 3rd campaign in, I think.
Yeah, it was crazy.
You went after it from the get-go, right? That's what you need to do. If you already have 7,000 points by the 3rd campaign in, you can sit back and rest because you know you got it. So set your goal and go after it right now. Don't give up until you get there. This is not about giving up. It's about mindset. It's about, I will be there. It's not about, can I do it? It's how am I going to do it? And what do I need to do? And what action do I need to take? and then you do it. So get your passport. 100% commitment is required. And failure is not an option. You know, a lot of people think that this is what success looks like.
I love what it looks like. The real.
Trust me, it's not. I can tell you this is what my successes look like. And when it goes back down like this, it's heartbreaking.
It is.
And when it goes up, it's exhilarating, and you're on an emotional roller coaster, but this is what it looks like, and you will get here. You just need to know that even if you went back down, it's just part of the process. It's a lot like my weight loss journey. I get on the scale and it's like, oh man, I gained 2 pounds. How'd that happen? You know, and then 2 days later I'm down lower. So it's just the way it is. So that's all I have. Do we have any questions or comments? Anything anybody want to say?
I mentioned something. I was talking to Rick the other day when we were together, and I mentioned to him about something that it was kind of an aha moment for me, and I know we did it. It was kind of our ups and downs. When we first started out, we started getting names and numbers of customers, and then the one thing that we did that was really different was that we started calling them. And Lynn has a system that she's done on other calls about just simply a reminder call to your customers. And then also you'll need to do follow-ups with all of the recruits that you have. But the key was for getting sales was calling your customers. We were building a large customer base, but we weren't very good in the beginning about calling the customers up. And we had their information, we had their address, we had their phone number, but we weren't calling them. And so Lynn instituted this thing where she started, back then it was just a phone message, because everybody had landlines. It was a voice message. But now you can text or whatever. But it made a huge difference. We used to have, in the beginning, we were struggling to get the $500 or $600 in sales, and we might be only at $300 on a Friday, and we weren't calling the customers, and we'd be sweating the bullet waiting for Monday or Tuesday, and we might get the $500 or $600 in sales. We started calling all of our customers, and we went from $300-$400 on a Friday to like $1,500, $2,000 on Monday or Tuesday, and that was just in the beginning. And it was the customers.
Yeah, in the beginning.
Yeah, it was the very beginning when we were struggling for sales, and that phone call made the huge difference. And that was our aha moment, was calling the customers, reminding them that our order was going in, because we might only get 10 orders if we didn't call them, but we get 30 or 40 if we did. And they say, oh yeah, book's right here, I marked it, but I just got busy and didn't call you.
Yeah,
So,
at one point, we grew to the point where we were selling at President's Council. We were selling over 110,000 a year. And it was the same thing. On Friday, when I did my reminder calls, I might have $800 in sales. And then the reminder calls went out. And by Tuesday, it was like $5,000 or $6,000 in sales. Yeah. It was huge. But also something I want to say, I was talking to my coach, Dory, about this yesterday. It's really funny. She mentioned to me about somebody, it doesn't matter who it is, but they're not on this call anyway. But she was mentioning to me that this person had told her that I only want to sell. I don't want to go after recruits. Or no, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. She said she wanted to recruit. She did not want to sell. She did not want sales. And I had to laugh at that, because that's exactly how we grew our business to President's Council. It wasn't because we wanted sales. It's just you're giving out books over and over and over again. Would you like a brochure? Are you interested in selling Avon? Would you like a brochure? Have you ever thought about selling Avon? Would you like a brochure? Hey, you can make extra money with Avon. And you know what? We just pick up customers. Customers are easy. We're going after recruits. We're trying to get recruits, and we pick up a ton of customers while we're getting those recruits. Because I don't know what the numbers are. Maybe 80 or 90% of the people you talk to don't want to sell Avon, and a lot of them are going to end up being your customers. So customers are the easy part. So go after the recruits, and you'll pick up the sales. So I'm sorry, we kind of didn't. Does anybody else have anything they want to say?
Just follow up. I know you just said it. We've all said it. But, sometimes our brand new team members think that we're just pulling that out of the sky or something. But it's absolutely the truth. And I think that they're waiting for us to give them a magic bullet of some secret thing. And that really is the secret thing. It's not a secret. you need to follow up because like Lynn just said, your orders can be, $50 and then bump them up to $500 from following up. It's the same thing with your leads. You can't assume that they don't want to do it, just like you can't assume that they do want to sign up and sell. But if you don't follow up, you don't know. So you've got to follow up and follow the process. And when they're ready to do it, it's going to happen.
Yeah. And how long do you follow up, Lori?
You keep following up until they tell you to stop.
Yeah.
Or until you read their obituary.
Yeah,
The thing is, the reason why we're following up with them is because they said they wanted more information. It's not because we just pulled them out of a hat and made it up. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
none of us is out there making up names and going, oh, let's see, this is a good number. We'll just follow up with that number. No, we got their information somehow, some way. Either we got it as a lead from Avon, or we got it at a show, or they filled out our form. But either way, they checked that box that says, I want to make money, or they told us to our face that they want to make money. We're not following up on people that didn't tell us they want to sell Avon. So you have to assume that they are interested until they tell you they're not. And a lot of times it's just they're busy and they have a lot going on. And a lot of times I will follow up with somebody for 1.5 years before they finally sign up. But they usually do eventually. And, it's not like I'm calling them every week. It starts off that way. It starts off weekly follow-ups, and then it goes to 2 weeks, and then it goes to 3 weeks, and then eventually it's just once a month. You're just touching base with them. But you stay on top of it for as long as it takes.
I'm checking the obituaries every day, so I might have to take 1 or 2 off.
As long as it's not you, Rick.
Yeah, as long as it's not you.
One other thing I like to say too, now is the golden time to really be going after the recruits so they can sign up and sell, because sales right now they're simply going to be easier in that this is the holiday selling season. Sales from now through December till January 1st are going to be a lot easier to get than after January 1st. I'm not wishing that to happen, but it's just the way it works. And,
Yep.
and it's going to be easier to get a recruit in there now, and they'll be able to get some sales a little bit easier than it will be January 1st. And they'll also have time to get a system together to be able to follow up with their customers and all that. So that when it slows down a little in January, they won't be surprised by it, and they can try to keep their business going.
And for those of you that might be thinking that it's been a little hard to get recruits lately, I've noticed that it has been. And I don't know if that's true for everybody, but if that's what you're thinking, it's going to change after today, or maybe tomorrow. Because today's the election.
And that's
The election, and this is not politics. This is no matter what side you're on, there's a lot of animosity going on with the elections, and a lot of people are scared. And people who are scared don't make decisions. So as soon as this is over, as soon as they put it to bed, whether it's tonight or tomorrow or this weekend, whenever it gets done, I really think that we're going to be wide open. People are going to start spending money. We'll be signing people up a lot more.
Yeah,
You know that's true. They're saying on the TV tonight that voter turnout for this campaign is higher than it's been for any presidential campaign.
Yeah.
So
I haven't
there's a
seen
lot
the
of
news
fear
yet
out
today.
there.
Yeah, I haven't seen the
That's
news
good.
yet today, but I know that there's a lot riding on this for either side. So anyway.
Yeah, and promote with the people that are thinking about selling. If they're on the edge about it, say, how would you like to get your Christmas paid for? This is really a good time. I mean, like Lynn was saying,
It really
they're going to get 40% on everything in the book. The stuff that we only get 20% on, they're going to get 40% on all the Christmas items in there. They can buy their Christmas even at 40% off. So,
Yeah.
I mean, even doing that, if they're looking at saving money on buying Christmas presents, it's amazing.
So think about it. They can go, it's a little bit like getting a Costco card. This is how you should be talking to people. Of course, we want people that are going to stay and going to build a business. I mean, don't get me wrong. We want those people. But we also want the people who say, well, I'll pay $25 to join Avon and get 40% off my Christmas, and then after the holidays, I'm going to quit. That's okay, too.
Yeah.
Because they're getting their holidays at a discount they're selling, and you never know. They might fall in love with it and and not quit. I mean, I can tell you I had no intention of doing anything with Avon when I started, and look at me now.
I'm an Avon lady.
And I have so many people on my team that say the same thing. So you can tell them that. You can say, you know what, for $25, you can get 40% off your entire Christmas. Just placing one order would save you the $25. You'd save more than the $25 you spent. And you never have to do anything again if you don't want to. Pretty exciting. So, Linda, do you have anything to say?
Yes, I have one question. When you get the leads and they check off the boxes, how do you handle, like if they say they want a book or somebody say I'm interested in joining, do you just keep them all in one group, or you try to separate them and send one information just for joining and one just as the customer, or you just combine both of them and just keep sending the information for
I
customers?
treat them differently. So we're gonna do a training on this. I think we probably need to. Actually, you know what? My Sunday Facebook Live is going to go into this a little bit too. But I kind of treat it separately. So if they're interested in being a customer, they immediately go into I use campaign mailers, so they get books in the mail, and I have reminder texts or calls that I do they're kind of automated. I do it like as I schedule it as a group, but they go out individually through a service. So they will get a book and they will get a reminder call about that. And so if they place orders, obviously we take care of them. If they want to sell Avon, they go into something altogether different. They go into my follow-up system.
Okay.
Do you have access to Alma?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so then put them in Alma. Use that to follow up. That's a great way because you can set, your next follow-up. And you can put them in Alma as a personal lead. The Avon will never take them from you. They're yours. And so I have a whole system. And are you familiar with my system at all?
I follow you everywhere. Yes.
Okay, so I have that whole system. So basically, as soon as I get them, when I get home, I'm going to, if I talk to them, I probably won't call them again. It depends. It just depends on the situation. I may call them again. Or it depends on if I talk to them and I said, well, I'll text you when I get home, but normally I call, text, and email, and I send a card. You don't have to do the card. That's up to you. But I do four things. Then the very next day I send text number 2. And then a week from then I send email number 2. And then a week later, text number 3. And a week later, email number 3. And then another week, text number 4, and another week, email number 4, and then I start spreading it out like 2 weeks or whatever. So I use that system religiously, no matter where I get them from. So they're getting my books in the mail if they want to be both. If they check both the customer and the thing, they're getting my books in the mail and they're getting that follow-up. But this one, I'm doing more one-on-one because I'm following up with them to be a recruit.
Every week. Okay. I was wondering how you did that because I was like, because I got the text magic system, and I was wondering how you put the emails in. So it's one email, one text, one email, and once a week.
Yeah, to begin with, and then it spreads out to 2 weeks, and then 3 weeks, and then eventually it's once a month.
She's going down on Beauty Biz, and
yeah, she's familiar with that. Yeah.
And the postcards, I got that, and then that's in there somewhere.
Awesome. Well, what I do is I send a postcard every time I send an email.
So the postcards go with the email.
Yeah, that's just how I do it.
Okay.
And then I keep track. I like my emails. So my emails are in I use Gmail, and all of my emails are in my drafts. So I've created a draft of that email. And then so when I know that now I need to send email number 3, I will go to my drafts and I will copy the body of email number 3. I don't send it from there. I just copy it.
Right.
And I create a new email and I paste it in there, and that's how I send it. And then in Alma, you can just say text number 3 or email number 3. Then you know what you did. And so when you pull them up, it's really easy to see what you need to do next. Okay.
So you don't use campaign, MailChimp or...
Well, I have an email list that goes along with my blog it's through Aweber, but it's like a MailChimp. Okay. I do have a list, and that's for my customers, and I also put all my recruits in there too. Everybody goes in there. But they get, I write blog posts 6 days a week, and 2 of those are recruiting and 4 of those are sales, so they get those too.
Okay. I can't keep up with all that. I'm trying to do the
know.
other one.
And that's way more than you should be.
Mhm.
So right now I would just focus on taking care of your customers on this side, get a system there going,
Mhm.
and then concentrate one-on-one with your follow-ups.
Okay.
Lynn, can I just say, Linda, we use MailChimp, and even if you're not able to do it, it is really important to keep track. We had a lady that we met a year ago at a show, and she just wanted to be a customer, and a week ago, she placed a $100 order on our website. So it took her a whole year. She was getting our books in the mail. She never ordered, but we kept sending her emails from MailChimp showing her the current brochure every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So you never know when that customer will be ready to either sign up and become a recruit or stay a customer and order from you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you could just do a welcome to campaign 24 email. So you start adding them to MailChimp, do a welcome to campaign 24 email, and then maybe another email saying, hey, the website's going to change over to campaign 25 on this day. So you're just sending a couple of emails a campaign.
Yeah, that's what we do.
But I will tell you something, Rick knows this already, but something really exciting that happened for me yesterday. I had a Facebook party for my customers, and I sent an email out to my list saying, hey, join our Facebook party. And when I get leads, even Alma leads, I put them on my list, right? 2 of my Alma leads came to my Facebook party. And so one of them signed up, and the other one's going to sign up this weekend.
Oh, okay.
So it's always good, even like what Lori says, you don't need to get into doing the blog posts and emails that often, but you could do 1 or 2 emails a campaign just to stay in touch with them.
Yeah, as long as you're touching them, that's good.
So the Emily's you put on your AWeber account, and so they could just get the emails.
They get my customer emails as well as I have recruiting emails there too. So, yeah.
Okay. Because I was wondering, should we combine those Emily's to the customer list? Because some of them we pay for. So
right, and there's no reason that you can't send them emails. They might buy from you. There's a lot of times you'll get an Alma lead that they don't really want to be a rep, and they'll end up becoming a customer.
Yeah, we put all of our Alma leads in MailChimp, and they get all of our marketing emails.
Yeah.
Okay.
And another thing you could do, if you don't want to do a MailChimp, is put them in your Avon address book in your web office. Let Avon market to them.
Right.
Even your Alma leads, put them in there. And you can send, I was just telling Rick this the other day, you can go into your web office and you can send an email to everybody, all of your customers. You can actually send an email. So like he was talking about doing a party, and I said, why don't you send an email through your Avon website to all of your customers saying, come to my Facebook party. So that's another way. That way Avon will market to them, and they'll get, promotional emails about sales and that kind of thing. But that's above and beyond you following up with them as leads.
Okay. So we could also go in the Avon site and just send them and say campaign 24 is changing. Well, no, that's the email they get though too.
They do get one from Avon. You're right. So you probably wouldn't need to do that. But you could let Avon email them. You could let Avon say the campaign's changing and all that if you wanted to, just because Avon has people that are professionals that do this. They know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And then you could, if you were doing something like a Facebook party or some kind of a special event, then you can send an email of your own through the Avon system.
Okay.
So it would be easier for you that way. You wouldn't have to do your your MailChimp email if you put them in your Avon emails.
Okay.
So let's see, who else? Pat, you got any questions?
No.
No?
Did you talk to Tiffany?
Okay, and pardon?
Did you talk to Tiffany today?
No, but I have a note to call her as soon as I get off of here. Yeah, I will. So we also have somebody named S. Clark. I don't know who that is. Can you hear us and can you talk? Do you have any questions?
I can hear you.
Awesome.
Okay.
I can hear you, and I'm getting good information, but I don't have any questions right now.
Okay, perfect. Well, thanks for coming. Okay, you guys, that's all I have. Let me stop sharing my screen. I'm going to stop recording.